You know the semantics of last night? How somebody got on stage and said, I don't want to be politically correct? And then this man got back on the stage, the host, and he said, we're having a Christmas, no, not Christmas, a holiday celebration. And it's just ironic to me how people will conform to what they're told and not necessarily mold their own story. Put themselves in positions to not realize that we have the best of intentions to be of self, but more so the idea that we can stand on our own convictions, to not have to worry about the intentions of people's imprint or the impressions that they try to make. But for the sake of argument, everybody I can see seems to want peace, and the practice in which they find that doesn't always seem to be the same, but is it not the same process of knowing that you can bend your knees and put your head high just to exclaim your appreciation? All of the lights are on in this building, but it seems that they are so dim, like the eyes that is not lit, because they don't seem to always have the shine or the brightness of knowing that this was a day that we can say was something to celebrate, but every day should be like birthdays. And even more so how we find ourselves realizing that it's hard to stand in front of camera and be so naked because it's so complacent how we can allow ourselves to think that it's not perfect, but it was more so worth it, because if you could work through the essence of knowing that I was just giving you a reason to hold your breath a little bit less, but to breathe so deeply, and allow your chest to encompass every bit of peace of knowing that this was something that you should always hold onto. And the idea that it could be your last, and maybe your next could be a gift, but more so your idea of knowing that it could sift through your body as easy as light does darkness, until darkness is sifted through light. And we find ourselves on the plight of being able to ignite something like a sparked flame, to realize no candle light could ever dim in the comparison of knowing that we illuminate room, even when there are no walls, even when square footage is not existing, but the essence of knowing that the trees are proof of our existence. They literally allow us to breathe so deep. Can you feel the kisses of those who have gone to pass upon your skin when the wind blows, or even more so how the rain will trickle down like tears from the God's eyes, but more so the idea of knowing that the saltiness is more so the idea of knowing that, see, we hold on to too many ideas of thinking that we cannot fear more than the false evidence appearing real, but it's the idea of knowing that sometimes it's just really hard to be naked on camera. It's a lot easier in the mirror now. Being able to take a deep breath and reflect on the ways in which we sound, more so the idea of knowing that I can be so redundant and use the same words because my nerves are a little high, but when I take a deep breath in and I slowly exhale, I realize I can prevail the idea of thinking that I can get past this moment, this mild experience. The articulations that I will follow are more so the ideas of you being able to find me in the pace of space of thinking that the lines that I have not written will more so spit because the words cannot be chased like the highs we continue to fight. I wonder if it'll be like that the next time. Best trip of my life, never had to take flight, but I always find myself on wings and clouds, and I think that I could find the sound of knowing that this was an experience I could not imagine more so be told about. It was more so something that I had to experience, and even in the ideas of knowing that no one else has, but I think now that I can see it, everybody